De'Aaron Fox is back. The Sacramento Kings are in LA to take on LeBron and the Lakers. And when I say LeBron and the Lakers, I really mean LeBron and the Lakers because he was great. Everybody else, not so much. LeBron nails the three. But here comes the Kings, led by Domantas Sabonis, diamonding it up to Harrison Barnes. Just like that, the Kings are in control. We're still in the first. Sabonis inside, showing you the grind. Kings double up on the Lakers. It's 34-17. Second quarter, LeBron doing all he can to steal, the pass to Cam Reddish, the easy throw down. Lakers cut the deficit down to single digits. And then LeBron, a little don't mind if I do. If you're not going to pick anybody else up on the Lakers, make sure you put a body or 2 or 10 on that man. LeBron had 19 in the first half. Fox got it going in the second quarter. De'Aaron had a 16-point quarter, 21 for the half. LeBron doing all he can. Can I get some help from anybody? Fox did his thing and got help. Sabonis had 19 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists in the first half. Anthony Davis had 9 points for the entire game. LeBron, what a chase down rejection of Sabonis in the third. But again, at some point, the old geezer needs some help as Kevin Huerter launches a couple of three-pointers. How about Huerter chipping in 28 points? And then swiping. Fox with the steal. JaVale McGee with the throwdown. De'Aaron had 28 points, 5 assists. Sabonis had 29 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists. Despite LeBron James going triple-double, the Lakers didn't really stand a chance. They lose by 15 at home. Nikola Vucevic and the Chicago Bulls look to kill the noise at home against a very hungry Paolo Banchero-led Orlando Magic squad. And it's not all about Paolo nowadays. He's got some help. How about Franz Wagner to deuce plus the foul? And then Wagner finding Cole Anthony, who lines it up, and he knocks it down. Now Anthony, a little pull-up jump shot is money. The Magic are up by 17 points. Third quarter we go, shall we? It's Banchero finally joining the highlight, nailing the three. He could cock that thing too. You know that. 4 of 12 from the field. Banchero had 17 points. Jalen Suggs getting in where he can fit in, nailing the three ball. He had 10 points. Orlando still in full control of this one. Still hanging on to one of those spots in the NBA. How about Javon Carter finding Alex Caruso? The Caruso nails the buzzer beater to close out the third. The Bulls get a little momentum as we go into the fourth. And then from there, Zach LaVine asks Orlando for this dance. LaVine, a beautiful layup in the air. Looks like that old dude that used to wear a Chicago Bulls jersey. And then Gogo Batiste trying to help the Magic keep control of this game. Vucevic inside. He was 8 of 18 from the field, had 17 points. 5-point game. With 2 minutes to go, Banchero presumably nails the three that's going to put this game away, but the Bulls got some fight in them. LaVine nails a three with his team down 5, 17 seconds to go. Now, rookie Anthony Black's got a chance to pretty much put this game away. Orlando up 3. Black misses the second free throw, which gives the Bulls a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance? LaVine says, you're darn right. He nails another three, and we're tied at 94. Will Orlando really blow this game? Banchero says no. Catches Caruso slipping on the switch. It's Banchero with the go-ahead deuce. Bulls out of timeout. They got to get this ball to LaVine, right? After those 2 clutch threes that he just made. Caruso goes to Patrick Williams in a desperation moment. He doesn't even get a shot off in time. Orlando holds on by the thinnest of hairs. 96-94 is your final. Rudy Gobert and the Minnesota Timberwolves finally out of a war with the Golden State Warriors. They now turn their attention to a returning Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns. First quarter, the Ant-Man nails the corner tray ball. And then Karl Anthony Towns grown man action. 25.7 boards for Towns. But I'm gonna be honest with you, this highlight consisted of a lot of Devin Booker and a lot of Kevin Durant, because that's what this game consisted of. Booker, mid-range jump shot, and then look at KD pull up, deuce plus a foul. I mean, that's just years of work, grind. That man's base is literally undeterred. Booker, a grown man deuce at the rim. Durant, on top of a key three. KD's like, yeah, this is what I signed up. When I wanted to get traded to this team, I thought I have Booker every night. Durant, beautiful backdoor action, easy throwdown. Suns are up big. Durant finds Eubanks, who finds Karl Anthony Towns in the wrong spot and throws it down all in his grill. That is not very nice. Second half, Book, a little don't mind if I do with the left. KD had 31 points, only took him 15 shots to get there. A very efficient night at the office for the easy money sniper. Just seems like with Booker back in the lineup, everything fell back into place. There was supposed to be a Bradley Beal appearance in this one, as the Suns were going to make their Big Three debut. Beal was a last-minute scratch. Durant and Booker were not. 31 points apiece. Durant and Booker helped the Suns easily roll past the T-Wolves by 18. Good game to watch from the ATL. It's Trae Young and the Hawks hosting Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. When these two teams got it on in the first round a couple years back, Brunson won in New York. He's here now as a Knickerbocker, and he's not looking. Beautiful dime to Dante DiVincenzo. A little Villanova connection. We're still in the first quarter. It's Julius Randle. He's looking, and that's for the better of his scoring ability. He nails the deuce. Saddiq Bey nailing the tray. And then right before the half, if some is good, then more is better. It's Jalen Johnson nailing the three. We got a tight one as we go into the third. Midway through it, it's Brunson, another three. He had 24 points. More on him in a second. Inside we go. Look at Randall showing you the grind and the muscle. Knicks up by 8. Here comes Ice Trae. In a given mood, he had 15 points, but more importantly, 17 dimes. Here's one of them to Bogdanovich, who pretty much was the big scorer for Atlanta in this when he had 28. Ice Trae cuts the Hawks deficit down to 1. Now they're in full control midway through the fourth. Bey cleaning up the Bogdanovich miss. Atlanta would go up 7, but here comes the Knicks. It's Brunson with a top of the key. 3. The Knicks go up a point. We're tied at 105, 2:20 to go. A little step back from DeJounte Murray. Atlanta back in control by 2. A great back and forth contest. It's Randall finding Brunson, who nails another clutch three to put the Knicks up a point again. We're once again tied up, this time at 110. It's Randall. 2 of his 29 points, also had 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Knicks out in front by 3. Bogdanovich had 28 to lead Atlanta. He needed at least 31. His game time three-point attempt is no good. And the New York Knicks win a tight one, 116-114. Joel Embiid and the very hot Philadelphia 76ers got company in town. Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics are back. Embiid and Philly already got the best of the Celtics pretty much at full strength. Can they do it again with the Celtics down a couple men? Tatum and Drew Holiday said, not so fast. Tatum a 3, and then how about a couple of big-time plays from Drew Holiday on the defensive end? How about Holiday chipping in 18 points and 10 rebounds? Boston up double digits early. We're in the second, and Tatum showing you that he got a lot of motion. 41-27, Celtics up. But here comes Philadelphia. Tobias Harris inside. One of my favorite guys in the league, DeAnthony Melton, taking advantage of the opportunity. And then, you know, this dude has been on one all season long. It's Tyrese Maxey for 3. And just like that, as we go into the locker room, Philadelphia comes back to take the 1-point lead. Third quarter, the big fella's like, okay, I got enough help. Now it's time for me to take over. Joel Embiid, all a part of his 20-point, 9-rebound effort. Tatum ain't an MVP yet, but he keep playing like this. He gonna get one soon enough. He nails the 3. In the 4th, Jaden Springer, shout out my Vol for life with the steal and the reverse. Philly down just by 4. The problem was the Celtics moved the ball magnificently in the 4th quarter, and that was all she wrote pretty much. Derek White nails the 3. Maxey with one of his own. He had 20 points. When it's winning time, more Celtics ball movement. White, another top of the key 3. And then White looking and finding Tatum, who nails the 3. You know, there was no Kristaps Porzingis, no Jaylen Brown for Boston in this one. If you are a Sixers fan, you got to be very concerned that the Celtics went in your house, walked in, and took over your trap. 117-107. Tatum had 29 points. I don't know what teed Jimmy Butler off before his Miami Heat's home matchup against the Brooklyn Nets, but Butler was in one of those moods. You don't see him do this often in the regular season. He usually saves it for the playoffs, but he was in his bag in this one. J.J. Lonnie Walker did all he can to help the Nets stay in this one. Walker had 23 points, but all in all, it was about great play from Butler. Beautiful dime there inside to Nicholas Claxton, but who's going to guard that man? I got a lot of love and respect for Mikal Bridges in his game. He had no answer for Butler in this one. Little boy day tomorrow. And then Duncan Robinson joining the fun, because it really ain't no fun if the homie can't get none. He nails the 3. Miami up as we took a break. 3rd quarter. Oh, it got ridiculous. No, he didn't hit him with the spin. Come back to your right. And then Butler stopping, popping, and pulling after a couple up fakes. It's back season, ladies and gentlemen, with the holidays coming around. It's Jimmy B with a nasty jab left, blow by, head and baseline right side. Oh, that's how you feel, huh? Oh, you keeping it real, huh? Butler goes for 18 points in the 3rd quarter. He had 36 for the game. Y'all know what this looks like, right? This was one of those old throwback Kobe games. I hate using that word, but y'all remember when Kobe used to just tear teams up so bad they would get frustrated, as you see Dennis Smith Jr. commit a technical foul on Butler. He's mad. They're getting twats right now by a Butler-led surge. And then in the 4th, Duncan Robinson and Bam Adebayo, like, my man done put me in position. I'm going to just finish this thing off. Look at Bam go right at a really good defender in Claxton and could care less. Adebayo not done. Josh Richardson goes up top to Bam. That's the slam. That's the game. Adebayo adds to Butler's greatness with 20 points and 7 rebounds of his own. Heat win at home 122-115. Shai Gilgeous and the Oklahoma City Thunder get to take advantage of a depleted Warriors team. Steph Curry out to a knee injury, and since he's out, according to Rudy Gobert, that means Draymond's going to be out, serving the first of a 5-game suspension, which means the old geezers got to step up for Golden State. Klay Thompson and Chris Paul. You saw Klay nail the 3, but then SGA and company take control of this one. The steal and the easy deuce. A little bit of luck involved on that Kuminga deuce. And then on the other end, Wallace goes up top to SGA, who gets up there barely and throws it down. Chet knocks down a jump shot. The Thunder are up 19 in San Francisco. Moses Moody's like, we not tied yet, though. And then Chris Paul, reliable, nails the 3. 12-point deficit for the Warriors. And then look at this dime from CP3 to Dario Saric right before the half. Steph loves what he sees. The Warriors cut the deficit down to single digits. 3rd quarter, Josh Giddey open, so why not? And if some is good, more is better. Chet, he's learning. Get the ball to SGA. Alexander at 24 points. Other end, Kuminga. Tough deuce. He had 21 in the game. Warriors hanging around. The new Jordan Poole, Brandon Pajetsky, nailing the 3. Golden State down just by 2. Thunder turn it up a bit. Holmgren on the slip. He had 13 and 10. Isaiah Joe was unconscious from the 3-point line. More on him in a second. But first things first, respect to Chris Paul for picking up Holmgren. How about the effort from 38-year-old Chris Paul helping the Warriors get a stop? The problem is they needed a couple more stops. It's Isaiah Joe. He nailed 6 3-pointers in the contest. He had 23 points. The Thunder get the road win over the Warriors by 19. Draymond Green was, again, unavailable for the Warriors matchup with the Oklahoma City Thunder because he is serving the first of a 5-game suspension issued down by the NBA, in large part due to previous behavior that the league deemed to be excessive. Draymond put Rudy Gobert in a chokehold following an incident that involved Klay Thompson and Jaden McDaniels. So as I spoke about on this platform in the past, we've oftentimes seen Steve Kerr go to war for his guy. He has been very defensive, and he has defended Draymond over and over again when a lot of us are like, all right, this is ridiculous, Steve. I get it. That's your man's. That's your player. But even as a coach, some of this defending of Draymond over the years has been ridiculous. Steve finally took the gloves off with Draymond Green following the announcement of his suspension. Steve Kerr said Draymond has to find a way to not cross the line. I'm not talking about getting an ejection or getting a technical. I'm talking about a physical act of violence. That is inexcusable. So we have to do everything we can to give him the help and the assistance that he needs to be able to draw the distinction between being an incredible competitor, which he's always been. It's why he's in the position he is. It's why he's the player he is. But he can't cross that line. And he crossed it the other night for sure. Now, I want y'all to really digest those comments that I just read from Golden State Warriors head coach Steve Kerr, because they're very interesting to me, right? Had Draymond did something stupid last year, which he clearly has done stupid stuff every year of his career, right? But had Steve Kerr made those comments about something dumb Draymond did last year, I would have understood it a lot more. Draymond was in a contract year. There were a lot of rumors out there about the Warriors' interest in even re-signing Draymond. As we now know, Bob Myers, the former VP in charge in Golden State, has stepped down. He's now an analyst. Had we known what we know now, for me, it would have made more sense to see Steve Kerr say, pretty much, Draymond got to relax. If Draymond were in a contract year, the Warriors have already given Draymond a new deal, and presumably this will pretty much end Draymond's run in the NBA as a Warrior. By the end of that deal, I don't think he'll stick around for the money that teams will be willing to pay him with the value that he could bring to your team. He's really a one of one. If you really think about it, there are no more Draymonds. Like, I find a hard time finding a parallel to Draymond's career. What Draymond has done is be a very smart businessman playing basketball. He fit a need and was great in his prime at that need and set himself up to get a big bag because there were no more hymns on the open market. I'm sure Draymond could have figured his shot out and got those percentages up from the three-point line, but he didn't. Instead, he focused on things to make Steph Curry look like the great player that Steph already was. It made him look even greater. He dedicated himself to making sure Klay Thompson got the rock off pin downs. Draymond focused on his body, being in tip-top shape to play in months April, May, and June. Made sure his muscles was, big enough and strong enough to be able to withstand guarding guys like Nikola Jokic in the playoffs. And give Draymond credit, couple that up with his IQ. He fit a need for the Warriors and pretty much made it so they would be dumb to not re-sign him, because even for less money, you can't find something like him on the open market. He was just a good hustler. That's just good hustling. But because Steve Kerr said those comments now, with Draymond being in year one of his new deal, if I were Draymond, I would be concerned. You remember when you were a young bull or a young lady, for all my lady followers out there as well, remember when you disappointed your parents to the point where they said nothing to you? Like, I was a stupid kid. Like, I was a smart kid up top, but I made a lot of dumb bonehead decisions when I was young. Just stupid stuff, by the way. Anybody out there, I've never promoted being in the gang because I've never been in the gang. I never promoted being in the streets because I wasn't in the streets, but I am from the hood. So a lot of my life was just doing dumb stuff because I was broke trying to get into stuff, right? When I was younger, the thing that disappointed me the most is when I disappointed my parents so bad they didn't have nothing for me. Just to tell you a quick story, I think one of the worst things I did was get arrested on my mama's birthday while her birthday party was going on. That's like the worst thing I've ever done. Or when I say the worst thing, I mean it was the most disappointing my parents were. They didn't even punish me behind that. They picked me up and they said nothing to me. From her birthday party, her and my pops had to come pick me up and they said nothing to me. That's when I'm the most concerned. When the gloves are off, when I'm so disappointed in you, this is just so inexcusable. Come on, bro. Oftentimes you hear about a marriage going left when the man or the woman just decides to give it up. Like they don't even care no more. They'll hit you with the, you know you was wrong for that, but that be that on that. When they go mute on you, they say, yo, that's inexcusable. You got to be better than that. But they don't even really try to like work it out. They don't even care no more. That's what you should be the most afraid, right? When the person don't even decide to get in the ring with you, they just like, bro, you know that was dumb. You know, when the husband like, bro, my wife don't even care about me no more. It is what it is. When they get to that point, that's what scares me the most. The fact that Steve Kerr is at the point where he went to an area that he really doesn't go to often, when he says, that's inexcusable, he's got to be better than that. And no more protecting, and there's no more taking up for Draymond and you know, some of the things that Steve Kerr used to go to war. He literally was about to go to war for Draymond this week involving the Rudy Gobert situation. But now he just kind of had a change of heart, watched it again and said, I'm done taking up for Draymond. Draymond's a grown man and been around this league for a minute now. He knows better than that. That's inexcusable. If I were Draymond, I would be concerned that the Warriors got a back pocket move pertaining to his tenure in San Francisco. That's all I'm saying. It could be nothing about nothing. I could be dead wrong about this one. But the fact that it matter is Draymond's suspension is very real. And Steve Kerr jumped out of character. He's always defended all of his players. Draymond has obviously given him more to defend over the years. But I would be a little struck by Steve Kerr, or confused or startled a little bit if I were Draymond with Steve Kerr's response to his latest suspension.
It's Levine to tie the game. Big time play.
And we're closing this one out with the Chicago Bulls. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been no secret this entire year. The Bulls got one last dance. And I ain't talking about with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Phil Jackson. I'm talking about with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Nikola Vucevic. The rumors have been loud. The players are not even hiding from them. The Chicago Bulls are going to get blown up if they don't have a good amount of success this year. Their owner's not going to pay to keep this group together for them to be an 8th, 9th, or 10th seed out east. That's just that on that. With that being said, it is no secret that the New York Knicks have already rang the phone of the Chicago Bulls to see what's the availability of Zach LaVine. We're hearing stories about teams like the Lakers, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Miami Heat, and many more teams out there potentially are going to make sure they keep a close eye on what happens in Chicago. Look at guys like a Zach LaVine that could really help out a lot of these playoff teams right now, get to that next level. You know, look at a guy like DeMar DeRozan, who I love, by the way, still to this day. And I really believe if you put him as a third option on a team that's contending out east or west, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if he's a difference maker come playoff time. I really do believe he could Drew Holiday himself into a championship, even playing with a squad half a year. I do believe that. I'm looking around at, Alex Caruso is another name you're going to hear. Could his return to L.A. be imminent? I was reading this article from The Athletic, who does a great job in reporting on the NBA throughout the year. By the way, the subscription is only $1. That's a shameless plug. I said that to say, one of the things that's going to really hurt this trade deadline is not the teams that are interested in some of the players on the Chicago Bulls roster, but the teams that have no more availability or no more cap room to go after a guy like Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan. One of the things that I thought was so unique about this Athletic article is not the teams that are interested. I already mentioned those teams to you, but look at this. Teams like the Dallas Mavericks are out of money. The Los Angeles Clippers are out of money. There's nothing else they could do to bring in a guy like Zach LaVine. The Phoenix Suns are out of money, out of funds, out of resources to go get anybody. The Minnesota Timberwolves have nothing left unless they're willing to trade Karl-Anthony Towns, which I don't think they're going to do right now. The Oklahoma City Thunder, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the Utah Jazz are three teams that are in a different category. They all got assets, but it appears as though they'd rather keep their assets in hopes of drafting another young star versus paying a guy like Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan top dollar. Vucevic, he could be an odd man out in this one. I could see a team saying, hey, he's a big man that's suitable, can do the job every night in the NBA. Alex Caruso, I do believe is going to have a lot of interest because you can get a good value player paying a third of the price of Zach LaVine, right? We shall see what happens with the Chicago Bulls because I definitely believe they could be a team that the contenders that got anything left out east and out west kind of pick from that Chicago Bulls roster. Because I definitely believe if they're not able to get some wins going here like they did a few years ago when DeRozan first got to Chicago, it appears as though they will be sellers maybe even before the clock strikes 2024. Definitely before the trade deadline, but maybe before the 2024 Lonzo Ball situation just screwed the momentum of that franchise. I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in to episode 31 of the Hoops Ferro podcast. If you have not done so, make sure you subscribe, like the video, share it out. I appreciate the love sincerely. It's truly the best ways that we grow. Thank y'all so much. Time, love, support. Your boy would never take for granted. Salute. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing.
Why build theirs when I believe I can build my own?
You've already done it, or I wouldn't be here.
I'm already the only elite sports and music journalist in the game today. My goal is simple, to be the best there's ever been. So, please don't go. Make sure you subscribe and follow the journey. It truly means everything to me. I tell stories. I talk music. I cover sports. I am culture. I am Ferro.